is obviously the game on Thursday, which I'm hoping is going to end a bit better than what it did last Thursday, because it was like watching paint dry. So, David, I'll come to you first. What does Nuno need to do? Does he need to play some of the big guns, or do you reckon playing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium would be able to get it over the line with the fans there with them?
Yeah, well, we should already be 3-4-0 up. No excuses, really. First of all, look, my thing is you don't play Winks, you don't play Davies, you don't play Doherty. Let me tell you why. So you look back on recent shocks that's happened at Tottenham. Colchester, Winks Davies played. Antwerp, Winks and Davies played. In fact, Doherty might have played. Zagreb, I think Winks and Davies both played. I think Doherty played. Now, there's no coincidence that these results keep happening when these guys are in the team. Then you look back last Thursday, Pacos De Ferreira. Now, people can say, Nuno put out an inexperienced squad. Well, not really. Not really. Look, I remember growing up watching Tottenham UEFA Cup. I remember us sending out, worse teams than that and slapping teams 3-4-0 with ease. At the end of the day, these backup players, even when they step into the first 11, there's always drops in standards, drops in performances, because they're just simply not good enough. In Winks' case, he's just simply not good enough. With Davies and Doherty, they're just sitting there happy taking the wages. They're never going to get wages like that in their life again, are they? Let's be honest. And it's just simple down to the fact, look, they are trying. They're just simply not good enough. But when are we going to learn our lessons? When are we going to stop giving them the opportunities? Like people say, keep Ben Davies, keep Winks, keep Doherty. They're good squad players. But these are the games that they're supposed to be, if they're good squad players, that they're supposed to be coming into and doing the job for us. And they're not doing it. And there's no coincidence that these results keep happening with these same players in the team. Now, again, we struggle to win cups at Tottenham. We're dependent on these guys to get us through the early rounds. And they can't even do that. So we're never going to win cups if this keeps happening. For me, look, I'm at the point now. Tomorrow, look, I would just put out maybe 5 or 6 experienced players, go and slap them, get the job done by half-time and haul some of them off. Because, let's be honest, last week, apart from the goal, they were shit. They offered absolutely nothing. But they've done the homework. And I said it in my preview. They're very aggressive. They will look to turn the ball over in midfield at every opportunity. My fear is that if that Harry Winks plays in as the holder, they will pick it, they will target him, and they'll get a goal off him. It happened. Now, for me, you have to put a Højbjerg in there, so that's not going to happen. He'll be able to deal with it. Winks doesn't like the physicality. And look, moving into the group stages, for me, you just completely isolate these guys. You don't give them any more game time. And when they come crying, knocking on your door like Winks did with Jose, just call me in and let me explain to them the reason why with all the games and the reason why these results keep happening. And then maybe it might actually click with them that, when I am playing the games that people, defend me to play in and that they say I should be in, I'm actually going to do my job. So for me, from now on, you just bring in youngsters. I can accept these results if we are playing youngsters and giving them minutes. I'm talking like players from the under-23s. I can accept these sort of results. Not when you have Winks, who supposedly loves the club, Davies, who just never been here 8 years and never nailed down the left-back starting spot, and Doherty, who's a gooner anyway, who shouldn't be here. For me, you just drop them out completely, and you bring in some of the experienced jobs, make them sit in the stands and watch it, and then as soon as we win, just look up at them and say, "That's how you do it." Yeah, thank you. You know what I mean? And just send them home. That's what I would do, because I'm fed up with these guys now.
I love it. I have Winks behind me just to fuel the head fire. He's right there looking at you, David.
I know. Do you know what? He was getting me more animated the more I was getting into it, just looking at him.
Oh dear, but no, you're right. Even I'm Winks' biggest advocate, or was Winks' biggest advocate, and even I've had enough. Like, it's got to the stage where you can't even play against these people because he just screws up every time. So that being said, obviously, Max, what do you think the score will be? Do you think we'll actually win this? Do you think we actually want to be in this competition?
What's annoying?
I don't think we did.
It's annoying. It's annoying because we shouldn't even be having this conversation. Are we going to be beating a side like that? It's just. Well, if there's only any benefit to take from that, it's only 1-0, 1-0 can easily be turned around, and then we're fully expecting. There's not one person that should be thinking, "Oh, we're going out." Like, it's just it's embarrassing. We had to laugh about it. You can't not laugh about a result like that. What's the point? I mean, especially after the City vibe, and then we go and produce a performance like that. It shouldn't matter, like, whether it's not the first team 11. A club like Tottenham, a team that's been in the Champions League final the last few years, We shouldn't have players. You should have players that be able to step up to that. Should be players that should be relishing playing, like just playing for Spurs and putting in performance, like Irish said, with like Davis. 8 years you say he's been at the club. Oh my God, that's been 8 embarrassing years. Isn't it? It's just. It is embarrassing. It just shows you, though, when you can be at the club that long and then you have another player that comes in the same position as of Reggie, who instantly just suddenly goes to number one. It just shows you ain't good enough, mate. Then, obviously, like you said, you probably said everything, to be fair, but especially with that rant, but they're not going to get wages if they go elsewhere. So soon they're not going to be handing in transfer requests, and there's not going to be clubs coming in for them because they've just seen they can't handle the likes of these players that probably do like a milk round on a Saturday after the game. I don't know.
It is interesting you say that. It just shows that we haven't had the transfers to shift out the dead wood because they just get comfortable. And that's the thing. They don't think they need to prove themselves. When actually, fact, you do, mate, because your job is under threat right now. But it just seems they kind of know that the transfers aren't going to happen because it.
But then I don't want to start with another weakened team. Like to an extent, obviously. We need a couple of players that are going to take that game by the scruff of the neck, get the game over the line, get a few goals. Even if we get one, just get one or get two happy days. I do not want to be seeing them score at White Hart Lane. If I see them score at White Hart Lane, like anyone can score at White Hart Lane. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. First 2 minutes, that game should be sealed, and unless they're going to put every man behind the ball, they're defending for life. That's probably the biggest game they're going to play in absolute donkey's years, isn't it? So, just think they can say they've beat Tottenham Hotspur, and then they'll say, "Oh, look where Tottenham have been last year." They'll say, "Oh, they've beat." You can see it already. It'll be like they beat Harry Kane's side. Like, just behave. Like Kane won't even touch a ball that game. Well, I hope he doesn't anyway, because he shouldn't have to.
It's annoying as well, their banter on Twitter. I'm not enjoying it as well, so we need to beat them off the park.